Today we're looking at 25 random facts about MX bikes. Some are useful, some are useless. And if you've been playing this game for a while, you might already know most of these, but if you're new to the game, you might just learn a thing or two. These facts will not make you faster, they won't help you win races, and honestly, they might make you worse at the game. But this video is just for a bit of fun, so let's get into it. You can actually blow up your bike's engine if you sit on the rev limiter for long enough. The engine doesn't actually blow up, but after 10 minutes on the limiter, the bike does not work properly and is functionally blown up. This is me giving it full throttle, and as you can see, the bike does not work like it should. If you somehow do this on accident, you just need to return to pit and it'll be fixed. In the game settings under the simulation tab, there is a setting called lateral offset. This setting allows you to move the third-person camera left or right, which looks pretty cool. Changing your field of view can have a big effect on speed perception. If you have a low field of view, it'll feel like you're moving slow. And if you have a high field of view, it'll make it feel like you're moving fast. And although you feel like you're moving really fast, if anything, it actually makes you go slower. This is because obstacles on the track will look like they're approaching you quicker, which gives you less time to make decisions and causes more mistakes. The amount of mods that you have installed in your game affects how long it takes to load into servers. This is because even if you don't have a certain mod equipped, the game still needs to load it in. But this seems to only happen the first time you join a server, so you will load in much faster when joining another server. At the start of the video, I said that these facts won't make you faster, but this one actually might. There is a website called ghost.mymxb.com where players can upload their lap times for people to download and put into their game. If you download one of these laps, then go to your MX Bikes folder and put it in the trainers folder, you will be able to see that person's ghost on track. This can help you get faster by just giving you something to chase, or by helping you find good lines. If you go into the game settings under the miscellaneous tab, you will see a section called auto chat. In this section, you can write whatever message you want, and then in game, if you press the corresponding number on your keyboard, you will be able to say that message without typing. While in game, if you press the letter I on your keyboard, the game will show you an instant replay of the last 10 seconds of your riding. MX Bikes has hardcore mode. It can be found when you go to host a server, and there are 3 options you can enable. You can make it so everyone has to play in first person, you can turn off all rider assists, and limit what tires you can use. I think the creator of the game, Paboso, could do a lot more with this feature. Like for example, having an option to make riders fall when landing too hard, but it is likely that this feature will never be changed. If you press Shift plus L on your keyboard, your rider will do this animation where he shakes his head. In testing, there is a setting that allows you to add wind to the game. And if you turn this all the way up and try to ride jumps, you will notice it. It's pretty hard to see in a video, so I encourage you to try this one for yourself. You can bump start bikes in MX Bikes. This can be done by first going to settings and turning off automatic clutch. Then if you roll down a hill and pick up some speed, you can drop the clutch and the bike will start. On the game's main screen, if you click on profiles, you can create new profiles and have different settings on each one. This can be useful if you want to try new settings, or if you just want to be able to switch between setups easily. MX Bikes has a really easy way to see if your controller has stick drift. In settings on the input 1 page, you can see this bar near the bottom that represents your left stick inputs. With dead zone set to 0, if you can see any yellow in that bar, that means you have stick drift. To fix this, you can just turn up your dead zone until there is no more yellow visible in the bar. Also in the game settings, there is a setting called Skip Intro. This setting is completely useless, as even if you have it ticked on, you still see the Paboso intro screen. In older versions of MX Bikes, you could actually wear out your tires. Riding on pavement was the quickest way to wear them out, as if you broke traction at all, your tires would instantly be fully worn out and you would have zero traction. But this has since been removed from the game. In the game settings, you can enable flags to show on the top right corner of your screen. This setting can be found on the miscellaneous page on the bottom right. Setting this to both is a pretty important setting as it lets you see blue flags which tell you that you're getting lapped, and it tells you when a rider has crashed in front of you, which is a yellow flag. At Anaheim 2 in 2025, Cole Davies talked about MX bikes in one of his podium interviews.
I was playing MX bikes last night. I turned the E-road completely up. That completely replicated the track that I just rode. But yeah, I'm stoked.
MX Bikes has its own MMR system, but it has been broken for many years. While in a server, if you go to chat, you can see a list of all the players in the server. The farthest right number is their MMR. If you see anyone with an MMR of over 1000, that means that they've likely had the game for a while, because they played before this feature stopped working. When you go to host a server, you can actually limit who can join by their MMR, which shows that this was meant to be a significant feature in the game. There is a glitch in MX Bikes called Black Box. Like the name implies, this glitch causes a black box to appear on your screen. This glitch is super common, but I haven't had it in a long time, and this is the only picture I could find of it. It is unclear what causes this glitch, but it can be fixed by either going into the settings and changing any one of the graphics settings, or just by restarting the game. If you press Ctrl plus V on your keyboard, the game's version will show in the bottom right corner. As you could see in the last one, MX Bikes is actually still in beta. The game was released on September 30th, 2014, which means the game has been in beta for over 10 years. Early in MX Bikes history, there was a bug that made it so that when two bikes would crash on top of each other, both riders would not be able to respawn and would have to return to pit. This was a race ruining bug, because if you return to pit in a race, you cannot rejoin the race. The community complained about this bug a lot, until Paboso finally fixed it. If you've ever been in a server and there is 45 minutes of warm-up before the race starts, and you didn't want to wait that long, you can actually start a poll to start the race early. This can be done by returning to pit, going to event info, and clicking the arrow next to race 1 or race 2. You can also start polls to kick riders from the server. However, you can't do this in every server, as the server owner has the option to disable polls. If you press Ctrl plus F on your keyboard, the game will show your FPS in the top right corner. The rider in MX Bikes is 5 foot 7 inches tall and weighs 80 kilograms, which is about the same height and weight as James Stewart.